You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rudrance for Black and White Sports 2. Well, we're going to talk about Robert Sarver. He is the Phoenix Suns owner, also owner of the WNBA, Phoenix Mercury, Brittany Griner's team. Now, yesterday, he got suspended for a year, and he got fined an insane $10 million. It was kind of one of those fines where I had to, like, rub my eyes and look again because I was like, you got to be kidding me. And the NBA put out a statement. We went over that. In fact, there was some, I guess, inappropriate comments made towards female employees. We don't know exactly what it was because nobody gave us anything specific whatsoever. You've got to wonder, are we in the day and time where, office banter back and forth, I'm sure now will get you run off. Now, I worked 12 years in the corporate world, most of that entire time in upper management, okay? And I'm going to tell you, the workplace banter would have gotten males and females run off every day, all day. Everybody in the office, you'd have walked in, you'd have been like, there ain't nobody work here. Yeah, because everybody got fired over office banter. That's right, back and forth, every day, all day, including female members of human resources, by the way. But that my last year doing that was 2010, right? And now we're in this climate where everybody is ultra sensitive and they get butthurt and they get offended by every little thing. Now you literally can't tell a woman, hey, you look nice today, because she'll be like, oh my God, he's trying to touch me. Well, no, B, I'm not. But I did tell you look nice today, so I guess I'm getting run off. Can I pack my shit and leave now? So anyway, this came out. They nailed him for using the N-word, but when you read the statement, they nailed him for using the N-word when he was retelling stories where the story constituted an N-word being used. And I was like, okay, so you find him and you suspended him for that. Same thing they tried to cancel Joe Rogan over, by the way. Same thing, and he had to come out and give this cringy-ass apology. And look, I don't condone using the N-word, but I wanted to make sure in that video that I was very open and honest about the fact that we're going to be fair here, right? Completely fair. So when LeBron James and Draymond Green's on the court, and they're clowning, and LeBron drops a big old whopping N-bomb, boom, right on the court, LeBron's getting walked out for a year, right? He getting fined $10 million, right? So when some black dude calls some white dude on the team cracker, he's getting walked out, right? NBA, no more rap music on any premises anywhere that has to do with anything regarding the NBA and or WNBA. That's not going to happen because it's obviously a violation of NBA policy. And as you can imagine, there would be people out there in today's climate that would feel like this wasn't enough. A ridiculous overreaction, as always. And Brandon Tatum doesn't know that he's making a special appearance in this video, but I am going to play what Brandon said real fast. Brandon is beside himself on this thing. Beside himself.
And I don't know what exactly they're actually holding him accountable for. They said using the N-word. It doesn't count if you're recanting what somebody else has said, or you're recounting what somebody else said. Does that really count as using the N-word? But the players on your team can be in the locker room saying the N-word 1,000 times, rapping it. Y'all play the music over the loudspeaker, and you got to blur out the N-word in the song that you're playing, that you probably paid for the licensing of.
Hey, man.
But because you recounted somebody's statement with the N-word.
Yeah. And hey, look, he's just making the same point I made. The same point. We're going to be fair there, right? All right, let's get to the NAACP, because they would lose their minds over this, and they did. The NAACP president blasts shameful punishment of Suns and Mercury owner. Derek Johnson, the president and shyster grifter supreme of the NAACP, is clearly displeased with the league's reaction to the finding. This is Yardbarker. Quote, the NBA's response is shameful. Of course it is, Derek Johnson said in an official statement Finding a billionaire $10 million is nothing but a speeding ticket. I don't give a rat's A who you are. $10 million for anybody, even a billionaire, they're going to look at sideways. All right, they're not finding that in the couch cushions. And that's why they got 10 million instead of $1 million or 500,000. They have failed to adequately address the man's history of racism, sexism, and his year-long nourishment of a toxic culture. Years long. The fact that the NBA would hand down this so-called punishment in the same year we lost a legend like Bill Russell, who fought racism in his entire life, only to underscore how prevalent racism still is today. What's this got to do with Bill Russell? I mean, honestly, what's it got to do with Bill Russell? The punishment doesn't fit the crime whatsoever, and the NBA must do better than this. This is far from accountability. And you can guarantee, you can bet your ass one thing, the NAACP is going to figure out a way to line their pockets out of this. Believe it. Believe it. ESPN's Baxter Holmes notes that the association's investigation found that Sarver used the N-word multiple times when recounting the statements of others. And again, we don't know exactly what was said as far as the remarks towards females, supposedly. And they're saying something about physicality between him and males. Like what? You can't give somebody the bro hug or the bro elbow now in the office? Is that a thing now that we'd all get run off for? I mean, back before everybody got their panties wet about everything, they was literally offended over everything. Wow. The NAACP figuring out a way to monetize, I'm sure. Somebody's going to get sued out of this. Somebody's got to get sued. And while we're talking about it, we'll just go over, because Adam Silver did make a little statement about this. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver responded to criticism the league had received over its year-long suspension of Robert Sarver, who owns the Phoenix Suns and the WNBA Mercury. Jeez, come on, guys. During a press conference on Wednesday, Silver, who succeeded David Stern as the NBA commissioner in 2014, he's done a terrible job, said that Sarver's conduct was found in the league's investigation. It was indefensible, but he felt the league handled Sarver's punishment in, quote, a fair manner. Not only that, but they got a law firm involved that investigated all this. The conduct is indefensible. Okay, if you say so, Silver. Said during the league press conference, but I felt we dealt with it in a fair manner, and both taking into account the totality of the circumstances, not just those particular allegations, but the 18 years in which Mr. Sarver has owned the Suns and the Mercury. When a reporter asked about the league's punishment of Sarver in comparison with that levied against former Clippers owner Donald Sterling, who was banned from the NBA for life and fined $2.5 million for making racist comments, Silver replied that while Sarver's language was beyond the pale, I don't think that's exactly what he said or how that's said, but okay. The situation wasn't comparable to that involving Sterling, who the commissioner said was guilty of, quote, blatant racist conduct directed at a select group of people. Didn't they nail him for, like, recorded conversations behind the scenes or something like that? Quote, ultimately, we made a judgment. I made the judgment, and the circumstances in which he used that language and that behavior, while I said it was indefensible, it was not strong enough. It's beyond the pale in every possible way to use language and behave that way, but it was wholly of a different kind than that of what we saw in that earlier case. Okay, so I mean, I guess we're going to be outraged over this. We're going to say Adam Silver's statement is not strong enough. Who are we waiting for next? LeBron, you going to come out and say it? LeBron, you ain't said the N-word once in the last year, right? Again, the NBA's abolishing all rap music on the premises. I mean, Brandon Tatum's right. That's going to be said 1,000 times in the locker room. That word. Not in a I'm recounting a story kind of way either. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. This whole thing, is a joke. And it just shows you where we're at as society with all the problems going on right now. I mean, and real racist behavior that can exist in a very minute fraction in this day and time. Y'all worried about a guy recounting some stories in the same manner that the stories were told to him. All right. Tell me what you think, Black and White Sports 2 fans. The NAACP is about ready to try to make some coin off this somehow. I'm sure somebody, Al Sharpton, the Reverend Al Sharpton, and Jesse Jackson will be involved. Let me guess, I'm racist for doing that. All right, if you say so. I mean, I just don't even give a shit who gets offended anymore. Y'all so panty-waist mothers anyway. Come on. Wow. Y'all can tell y'all ain't old school. Tell me what you think, Black and White Sports 2 fans. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.